You're listening to BL in the Air. My name is Shai.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be talking about one of our absolute favorite shows that aired last year. It's called Jack and Joker. But before we get into that, Alex, what's in the air with you? What have you been watching lately?
Okay, I finally started watching Knock Knock Boys again.
What is that?
Knock Knock Boys. I talked about it a few weeks ago. I made it
Which
like
one?
it's the one where they like it's like four guys that live in a house together. It's the Knock Knock house. And like two of them are like
Oh,
in school and then the other two are like adults. Like
uh-huh.
younger
Okay.
adults, right? It's not like a weird age gap. Um
I
and,
remember this slightly now.
yeah, and so I didn't hear good things about it. So it was one of those I was like I
Mm.
wasn't really sure about it. I love this show.
Really?
So, well, first off, one of the characters is pansexual,
Okay, slay.
right? I was like, okay, some representation for something other than just gay or bi. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like, which is fine, it's BL, it's what it's here for. But yeah, no, he's pan. So they've had to explain pan like a couple times now. Um, and I think they do a good job at that. But they also like very much like sex positive, like all the time. Like the pan character also like a lot of conversations about like consent, and also they talk about like sex toys and like a not like not just for use, like they just like have like they talk about it, like normalize it, stuff like that. So like it's nice to see a show like talk about like all of that, like safe sex with like condoms and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
been fun. Also, like the characters are great besides that. um
No, it sounds interesting.
yeah, there's one character. I didn't know what was going on with his story arc. I still don't entirely understand it, but I don't know. The younger ones, the ones that are in school, are the ones that they're so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Very much a situationship happening. Um, where I don't think
Okay.
either it took one of them a while to realize there's something going on between the two of them,
Yeah.
and the other one hasn't quite caught on yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those when you fall for somebody and you haven't realized that you caught feelings. Um,
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, we all know except for you now.
yeah, like can you
You're
figure it out?
involved.
Yeah, figure it out so that we can like do something about it. That'd be great.
Have you finished it or are you still in the
I
middle?
am I am 7 episodes in, so
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I haven't really heard much about that one, but that makes me
It
more interested to watch.
it came out last year. Oh, what was airing at like the same time? I think One D Good Day was actually airing around this. No, was that last year?
Uh,
That was
yeah,
yeah, last summer.
I think that was last summer.
Yeah, because this one was over the summer too. It was May to August.
Okay, that sounds about the same timeline.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
because I was looking up stuff on Tumblr about it. That's where
Yeah.
before recording we talked a little bit about Tumblr, guys. Um,
Yeah.
and
We love
that's I was
Tumblr. Honestly, add me on Tumblr. I'm not going to put my URL out there, but if you want it, ask me. I'll give it to you.
I don't think we follow each other.
No, I have so much embarrassing shit on there from like middle school. It's like really bad.
Oh, I started a new account like a month ago.
uh, See, I would, but I'm like this far deep with my blog that I've had since middle school. I'm like, I can't. It's like letting my child go.
I mean, I
But
still have the other one. It's technically all under the same account. It's just there are different
mm,
names for it. So
yeah,
my
well,
feed is all one. It's just which one I share it to is different now.
that's fair. I do have some side blogs and stuff, some
Hmm.
old ones, but like I don't I don't use them at all anymore. So
Yeah. Well, what's in there with you?
so I'm watching a JBL right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. What's the name?
Yeah.
How am I forgetting the name? Wait, I really, really like it. Oh, it's called Jacko Frost.
Oh yeah, that's the one I told you to watch.
Yeah, you told me
Oh.
to watch it, so I'm watching it basically. And I forgot the name because Jacko Frost has only come up like once in the show so far.
It's probably the only time it's gonna come up.
Yeah. So I was like, what the heck is it called? But basically it's about this couple and they break up, and then one of them like storms out of the house, gets in an accident, and he has some like amnesia after the accident, so he doesn't remember them breaking up. And so now it's just them like kind of starting over, but it's kind of weird because like one of them knows more than the other does, but the other one's trying to get their memory back. So it's really cute. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that one too.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm like on episode 4 or something, and I don't know how many episodes there are. There's probably like 6.
yeah, it's either 6 or 8.
Yeah. But I'm loving it. I think it's really cute. I like the actors. They're both
Hmm.
beautiful men. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god. So
JBLs are pretty good at picking very attractive men.
I've noticed because yeah, I've been watching a lot of JVLs. I'm like, God, they're all so beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm excited to see how it progresses because I feel like there's a lot of ways it could go. Like at that point.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
hope he gets his memory back though, because that would really suck.
Yeah. I don't know, it might suck for him to get his memory back and then he remembers that they're broken up and then he has to be like, "What?"
Yeah, that's
That's
true. But
messy.
it is funny. I guess I don't want to talk about it too much now because we might talk about it later. But
Hmm.
well, should we move on to our main event?
Yes. I'm so excited. I love this show so
I
much.
Yes, I am too. I adore this show. I like I did a presentation night for my friends this weekend, and my presentation was on like gay shows that they should watch. And I think they seemed the most interested in Jack and Joker because I like gave them kind of a synopsis and like of all of them and my thoughts and stuff. And I was like, oh, this one's like enemies to lovers. And they were like, ooh, let me write this one down. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean last year between this and my stand-in like having to rewatch both
mm,
of them to like do show notes now, I don't know which one I love more. They are dead even for me. Um
yeah,
have we
I think
announced what
my
show we're
stand-in
talking about?
changed. What was that?
Have we announced what show we're talking about?
Oh, I did mention it earlier before the
Okay.
what's in the air, but we're talking about Jack and Joker.
Mhm. If you've missed
If
that
we
part.
didn't, yeah, if we skipped over that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I adore the show. I will say I think my stand-in changed my brain chemistry,
Mhm.
but this show was like a close second for me.
Yeah, I
So
definitely like I went deep in with like my stand-in because I don't it's the only one that like mid-show I was like I have to read the book because I need to know what happens.
that's
Um I
my stand-in was the one where I like any of my friends like that while it was airing. Anytime I hung out with them, I would be like, "Listen, I'm so obsessed with this show. I need to tell you the plot of it because I need to talk about it more." But
yeah.
this show too, I was like, while I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't like contain my excitement about this show."
Yeah, well, I was rewatching it to take notes for today, and I caught myself not taking notes and just being deep in it.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Let me fix that."
yeah, it's a lot that happens, so
Yeah. That's the
I
first
don't
time that's
blame
happened to
you.
me doing show notes, but
Yeah.
so a little background on the show. It aired from September to November of last year of 2024. Um, a very, very generic summary that does no justice to the show is that it's basically about a thief and a debt collector that have to team up to get like their loved ones back out of debt. And then of course they fall in love in the process because, BL.
Of course.
Um, and then our two leads are Yin playing Jack and War playing Joke or Joker. He goes by both names.
Yes.
I love Yin and War so much. This was a passion project for them too. So this came from a fan meet actually, because they had a fan meet that was themed like something similar to this, and then they came up with this.
Mhm. That's so
Um,
cool to have like your passion project to turn out to be just like such a great show.
yeah. Um, so yeah, so we have that because like they both sunk like a ton of money into this. I hope they at least broke even. Um,
I mean, I will say, like, before this project, I didn't know yinwar, and after that, like, I sure do now. I
Yeah,
definitely will follow like anything else they make or do in the future.
yeah. I had at least heard of them. I think I didn't watch Love Mechanics until after this. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
though. Um,
I maybe think
wait.
you watched it before, but I remember you
Yeah,
saying that you didn't remember anything about it.
I do. Yep, I watched it way before. Oh man, like early
Mm-hmm.
on. I
Yeah.
finished that right after I finished I Feel You Linger in the Air. That's been a
Yeah, because
minute.
I remember you watching that like ages ago.
Yeah.
But
I actually started to rewatch it recently just because I was missing Yin and War and I was not
mm,
ready to rewatch this at the time. And
yeah.
I forgot I hate Ian's character so much in that show.
Yeah.
I don't really like either of them to be honest in the show. Like their acting is great. I think the show's good, but their characters are not nearly as likable as Jack and Joke are. Um I Joke is one of my favorite characters in a show. Like Joke,
Me too.
he's not up there with style for me, but he is not too far off. Um,
I think he's one of my. He's gotta be like top three for me.
yeah,
Like
Joke is
easily.
Joke just War's mannerisms in the show. Like very
Mm-hmm.
like subtle things he does, like how he smiles or like how he raises his eyebrows very, very like minutely to get like an expression across. Like he's so good.
He is. He's such like a cheeky character too at like some
Mm-hmm.
parts, and like War just plays him so well. He's such a good actor.
Yeah, I think there's not anything that War can't do well because he has the most amount of hobbies.
I've heard that.
Yeah, he regularly posts like pottery throwing videos
Hmm.
and I love them so much.
Yeah,
It's it's
those are
gotten
always
me onto
like
like pottery TikTok now.
they're like really satisfying to watch. But I've
Mm.
done like pottery wheel, and I was horrible at it. Like I like literally so bad. Like you'd have to like center it, and I'd always be like off center, and then you have to like pinch it to grow it, and then you have to stick like a knife in it to level it off. I would stick my knife in, and I would just like fuck up the whole thing. Like so I have like I'm like I would much rather watch someone else do that than do it myself.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for something like that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it, but I have this feeling like I would try it, but
Uh-huh.
I don't see it going well.
I didn't it didn't go well for me, so
Yeah. So I forget what else he does. I know he plays tennis, and
mm.
I just because that was like one of the first things I learned about him after like Jack and Joker was literally that he just has a different hobby like every month.
Mm.
But it seems like he
Yeah.
sticks with them because like I saw not too long ago videos of him still playing tennis.
Hmm.
So it's not like he drops them, he just adds.
Yeah. That I feel like that's me. I have like way too many hobbies now.
Yeah, I've been trying to rein it in a little bit, especially
I've just been trying not to pick up new hobbies. Is the main
yeah,
thing.
that's been the other thing. I'm like, "Oh, what if
Yeah.
I do this?" But it's like I have a hobby I want to pick up, but it's expensive. So it's on hold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, besides Jack and Joke, there is a lot of cast, and normally we name some of them, but honestly, I think we'd be naming the entire cast, so we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a lot of people, and like most of them are relevant to the story, so
yeah,
it's like
there's
we'll get to them when we get to them.
there's very few people that are just in for like a few minutes. It's most of
Hmm.
them stay the whole time.
Yeah.
So, um, so episode one, we start with like this random scene at like um there's some event going on and like jewelry has gone missing and Joke is on the run from some guards. And he ends up in a room with a very, very annoyed Jack. And that was the whole scene. That's how it opens and we go straight to the credits.
Yes.
Um
You're wondering how I got in this
yeah,
situation.
very much type of thing. And
Yeah.
so after the credits we go straight into Joke is in school. So we've backed up 5+ years now. Um Joke's in school and he's already causing problems in school. He's distracting like everybody at this point, so he's really good at stealing things. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
very very like slick with his hands. So he like manages to like steal his like seatmate's like school notes, but swaps it with somebody else's school notes to cause this big fight between those two people. And on his way out the door, because he like annoys the teacher and basically like decides he's just gonna quit class because it's like a test prep class. On his way out, he steals like the teacher's notes for like what the exam's gonna be because the teacher wrote the exam, and then like leaves with that. And he's like in a disguise wearing like glasses, and I think he had fake braces on or something like that.
Yeah.
Very crafty. Um, Spoiler, he fails the exam regardless. So,
Yeah. It's kind of
um,
funny because the book I'm reading right now, it's called The Lies of Locke Lamora, and the main character reminds me of Joke slightly because he's also just like a thief by trade, and he just like loves like putting on these elaborate distractions and like stealing things, and so
mhm.
I was like, wow, he's kind of joke coded.
I love that.
Yeah.
So in this first episode, we go back and forth a lot between what's happening with Joke and what's happening with Jack at the same time.
Hmm.
So Joke's stealing stuff, and then Jack is trying out to be on the national taekwondo team, and this is going to be his last shot to do that. And his goal is to join this team somehow through that earn money so he can pay off all the debt he owes.
Hmm.
Um, which the debt is actually from his parents. Um, so he inherited their debt. Yay.
And he looks like a baby.
He does. I don't know how they aged him like this.
I don't
Backwards.
either. I was like so confused when they, we'll get a time skip and he'll be a little older later. And I was like, that's the same person? Like, or did they use a
Yeah.
different actor? We're like, no, it's
No, that's
literally the
him.
same
Yeah.
person. This, I don't know, the like floppy bangs or whatever really just took off like 7 years.
Yeah, it was crazy how much they aged him back.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, so he's doing some taekwondo stuff over there. He's a black belt, of course, right?
Of
And he's like
course.
apparently really good, and like so he's like expected to make the team. It's really funny though. His coach is like, "So how are you going to make money?" He's like, "I don't know. I'll figure it out." I'm like, "Sponsorships. That's the answer."
Yeah, that's what you gotta get the smell stick sponsorship or whatever. Little drink
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Yeah, apparently we can get those smell stick things here somewhere. I think there's one called like a boom boom stick or something like that that supposedly we have in like our drugstores. Um,
Huh.
I haven't looked
Okay.
for it, but yeah, that's apparently a thing.
I'll keep an eye out next time I go to get
Hmm.
gas.
Yeah. So then we're back to Joke, and Joke is at home, and his parents are so annoyed that they're having to pay for like this tutoring class, whatever, because Joke has a brother who is academically successful,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate for Joke. He's I think the older brother,
I
but he
believe
kind of
so.
yeah, but he sucks at school, mostly I think more because he doesn't care than anything, because when he puts his mind to something, he's really smart. He's just
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't put his mind to it, there's nothing.
He's definitely like street smart,
Yeah.
whereas his brother's like book smart. And
Mhm.
of course, obviously, like, parents are like, well, we want
Yeah.
you to be book smart and go to college and get good grades, whatever. And he just like
Mhm.
isn't quite catered, or he just isn't really built that way. So,
Yeah. So like Joke's dad is like the biggest asshole during all this. Like they're eating dinner, and Joke's dad is just going in on him, and Joke's just kind
mm-hmm.
of like sitting there like okay. Like and then there's like a news segment on TV about this thief named Joker that people actually think he's like a hero because he's only like robbing bad people. Um
Little Robin Hood scenario.
yeah, and his signature is to leave like a frowny face like spray painted wherever he's at, so like that's where everyone knows it's him doing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like everyone sees him as a hero, including like Joke's dad. So like he's doing good, and it's like, oh, okay.
His vigilante work is really,
Yeah.
it's got my approval.
And Joke's just kind of sitting there like, uh-huh.
Also, I just have to say, if you're like coming up with the disguise for your criminal activity, I probably wouldn't use the same name with an
Right?
R at the end.
Right?
Like maybe
Nope.
like it's too similar.
So I think it's Dunk's character in another show is also named Joke. So I have a feeling the
Mm.
name Joke is a little common. So I don't think it'd be like, oh, here's the one joke we know, so like that's clearly Joker. Um,
Yeah. But it's too close, man. Like
yeah, but it's
like
catchy
change it a
for the
little
show.
more. It is. It's definitely yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm like, come on. So, but later we see Joke is in his room and he has the outfit that Joker wore in that like crime, like
Mhm.
just hanging up in his room. And then he like opens up his closet and the back wall of his closet is like photos of like all of his disguises with like notes from like them. So like he's got all this and I guess his parents just never go in his room.
That's
Um
what I was thinking. I was like, he has a lot of faith that his mom's not gonna come and like put away laundry or something like in his closet.
yeah, so I don't know what the deal with that is because that's also in I Saw You in My Dream. The kid
Uh
that
huh.
sees the dream stuff has like a wall in his back closet with like notes from his dreams. So
Hmm.
I guess parents don't bring in their clothes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll say I don't. By the time I was that age, I was definitely bringing my own clothes in. So
Yeah, but I definitely. I mean, I know. I think he's like college age and stuff. And it's
yeah,
like when I
he's
would go home for college in the summer, it's not like my mom was snooping through my room, but like she's definitely like would go in my room, you
yeah.
know, or she'd like send me like she would. I had like a record player in my room, and she would
Hmm.
just like like put on records and then send me videos, and she'd be like, "What song is this? I like it."
That's
Cause
cute.
like, yeah. So he
Yeah.
definitely has a lot of faith that people are not like going in his room.
Right. Like maybe he wants to be caught by his parents. Maybe I don't know.
It's a cry for help.
Yeah. It honestly.
It kind
So
of is,
yeah, it's not
actually.
that far.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. So Joke is there admiring his wall. Or honestly, he doesn't look happy about anything. So I don't. Admiring's definitely not the right word here. Um.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and then we're back to Jack again. And so there's this other black belt kid that shows up and he's like bullying people, like the other like taekwondo kids. Like aggressively fighting them or whatever. So Jack jumps in and he's like, it's more of a mess with somebody your own size type of a situation. Except Jack also loses pretty embarrassingly.
Mm-hmm.
um then we learn the bully's name is Carbon. He's also important. He'll come back later. Um And he is the rich son of a politician, which that politician is the one funding the school. So Carbon gets to stay.
Nepotism.
Right. So and now we're back to Joke. Like it's literally scene by scene, like back and forth. And Joke gets the results from his exam that he was like stealing the thing from, and it was the exam to get into med school. And he did not make it, unfortunately. And so
Mm-mm.
he forges his results so that he can lie and tell his parents that he made it. And dad says he's proud of him. So, great.
Oh. Yeah.
You know, that doesn't help anything because Joke definitely doesn't feel good about any of this because now he's got to figure out what he's going to do because he's just lied to his family. I'm not sure what the end game here was, to be honest.
Me neither. But in Pluto, she did fake a whole degree. And she just
Yeah,
like when she was going to class, she just went to like wash clothes. So maybe he could just do
yeah,
that for like 12 years or however
yeah.
long it takes to be a doctor.
Yeah, I assume the plan would be to retake the test in a year again and then try
Yeah.
and figure it out from there. But
Hmm.
um, I don't know. He doesn't
Yeah, I don't
explain his
either.
he doesn't explain anything. He just goes with it.
He's Joke's a little impulsive for things. I don't think he like
Yes.
fully thinks things through. So,
Not at all.
mm-mm.
So, and then we're back with Jack again, and Jack Carbon gets onto the national team, and then because Carbon doesn't like Jack, that the team the like judges that are deciding who gets on the team don't let Jack onto the national team. So Jack also having a bad day.
That's like pisses me off so bad.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And
It's
Jack's
not even a
coach,
team sport. Like, come on.
yeah, but they everything they do stuff as team. So they'd be
Hmm.
traveling and stuff together and Honestly, that does sound like more of a headache than it's worth, to be honest.
Mhm.
But what really sucks is like Jack's coach didn't like defend Jack at all, and so like they have a falling out, and Jack's just kind of like bye forever. Um,
Mhm.
and then Jack goes to work. He's a busser at a bar, and Carbon's friends are all there drinking, and of course they're giving Jack a hard time because why not? Um, but Joke also happens to be there. Huh. This is one of those situations where this appears to be the one bar in the whole city. Um,
Yeah, right.
because Jack is or Joke is at the bar, drinking alone, and he's just kind of watching things happen between Jack and Carbon.
Mhm.
And he's very very perceptive. He's very much watching what's going on around him at all times. Um, and Joke goes behind the bar, and so Jack and Joke start talking, and like there's like an immediate connection between those two. Like
Mhm.
there's definitely like an age gap thing where so it's nothing like flirty really anything right there, but it's just like a soulmate type of connection. I feel like they immediately like they start talking. Somehow Joke ends up or Jack ends up sitting next to Joke and like they just talk about life and everything. And it's like okay, you have like
Mhm.
this 17-year-old and like this like 22-year-old because I guess because he's trying to get into med school, so
Yeah.
it's like okay guys.
They both just had like a really rough day and they're just like, "Listen."
Yeah. And Jack's like really excited to talk to like Joke. Like he's like all about
Mhm.
it. But Jack has to like go work and while um while Jack is like going to like try to tab out like Carbon, Joke like pulls out Carbon's wallet that he stole at some point and like uses that to pay his own bill and walk out and just leaves the wallet like on the counter.
Mhm.
But unfortunately for him, while he's like moping his way down the street, some woman comes up behind him and is like begging for help. And she's like, I'm, they're chasing me or whatever. And like two or three guys um, come up behind her. And so she's hiding behind Joke and is like, save me. And Joke's like, what am I going to do? And so he like
He's
tries
also
to,
Joke's like tiny too.
yeah.
Like War's like pretty small, so it's like, oh, I don't know, lady.
Right? Like she's taller than him. So
Yeah, for sure.
And so Joke tries to like lie his way out of everything, talking about like he's on the national taekwondo team and whatever, and he like makes a fake phone call to his like gang basically of like black belts that are like gonna come in, and it doesn't work, and Joke gets beat up.
Mhm. Yeah, they
But
call
while
his bluff on that pretty quick.
yeah, yeah, that it doesn't go well at all. So, but Jack shows up. And he actually does save the day because at least one of them knows how to fight. Um,
Mm. At least one of them is on the Taekwondo team. Or
mhm,
was, I guess, not
yeah.
anymore. Sorry.
And that's where we learned that this woman's name is Rose, and her dad is some big shot, and that's why they were trying to kidnap her. Um, and she's like immediately into Jack, so she's like
Mhm.
getting his number and whatever, and like he is all about Joke. Joke just wants
Uh-huh.
to get the hell out of Dodge. It's really funny to watch because she's like talking, and Joke's just kind of like, well, how do I leave?
Yeah.
And so after that, because Rose does get picked up by her dad's dudes, and while like that's happening, like Joke also dips out, and so Jack's just kind of left standing there. Um, and he goes home. He lives with his grandmother, and he decides that he liked being a hero today, and he wants to do good things, and so that's what he's gonna do, and he's gonna open up a school himself. So that's his new life goal.
Yeah. Big dreams.
Yeah, I love it.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And then we see Joke in his next disguise, um, where he comes in like a business suit and goes into the bank, and his plan is to steal from them because they're corrupt. Because again, he only does bad things to bad people. Um, and he's smooth talking his way through all of this stuff, and everything's going well until Jack shows up.
Mhm.
And Jack is there to inquire about a loan for the school that he wants to start. And Joe is like, yeah, I'll approve it.
Yeah.
Stamps approve on it, and he is breaking into the safe anyway. So he takes a shit ton of money out of the safe and gives it to Jack and goes, "Here's the money for your school. See you later," and like leaves.
Yeah, the bank is definitely going to give this 17-year-old like tons of money in loans to make a school.
Right? No collateral, no like nothing.
Mm-mm.
And like there's no way a school like that's going to make money either, right? Like cuz it's he wants to make
No.
it for like low income people. So
Yeah.
like okay guys, come on. Um so but Jack is also a teenager, so what does he know?
Mhm. Yeah, he doesn't
Um
know that. He's very like he's pretty naive at this
mhm.
point.
Yeah, which I mean, he's 17. It's.
Yeah.
And so but this does not go well for Jack at all. Because by the time he gets home with his large bag of money, the police are already there waiting on him, accusing him of embezzlement. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I got a loan approved today. Um, and then it was like, yeah, that was fake. And we think you're in on it. So they think that it was like a two-person job, basically. Um,
Mhm.
and Joke happens to be lurking around the area and he sees Jack get arrested. And he's like, well, I can't let that happen. I didn't want something bad to happen to a good kid. Um, so he goes home and turns himself in.
Mhm.
And that's where his parents find out that he is Joker and his parents disown him.
Ah, the consequences of his actions.
Yeah.
He
And
really
so,
didn't think that one through at all. Just like if I just steal money and I give the stolen money to this kid, the kid's not gonna get in trouble, right?
yeah, I think that's
You
what he was.
know?
Yeah. He was like, don't think he thought that they would trace it back to the kid. So it
Mhm.
was like, oh, I can help this kid do a good thing. Um,
Mhm.
because like he had such good like he had like all kinds of like plans and whatever of what the school's gonna look like and like it was such a good moment. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, so Joe gets arrested, he's going to jail. And then like the debt collectors come to Jack as well and take him away because now he's gonna go work off his debt. Um,
Mhm.
and he has to give up a ring as a collateral thing, as like his thing of value. So
Mhm.
it's the ring his parents gave him. That has his name on the outside and their name on the inside. So episode
Yeah.
1 was a pretty heavy hitter already.
I know. And at this point in the show, I was like, what in the hell is going to happen? Like, I kind of went into it blind and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so episode 1 ends. One of our main characters has been arrested. And then our other main character is like kidnapped basically by the debt collectors because now he has to work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
It was a thrilling start to the
it
show, I'll
was.
say. Like, very memorable episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So episode 2 starts immediately with a time jump though. So we are 5 years
Yes.
later.
Yep.
And Joke is now out of prison. Um, I will say 5 years is pretty short for the fact that like they know he's Joker and he gave like when they arrested him, he's like the proof of everything I've done is in my bedroom. So
Yeah.
like he just gave it all up.
I do think, like, I know in the US, our sentences are quite long compared to other countries.
True.
So I feel like, I
Maybe
don't
this is
know if it's
normal.
just, yeah, I feel like whenever I'm like watching a Thai show and they get arrested for something and then they're in jail for like 2 years, like to me, I'm always like, that's so short. But like, I don't know if it's just like a TV show thing or if this is like how Thai prisons are. But I was also thinking that.
Yeah. It
But
might
he
be
like
because
robbed a
we're
bank.
American.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Hmm. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like never sure. I'm like, maybe it could just be like convenient for the show, or maybe just like prison sentences aren't as long there.
Yeah. I think that would make sense because like we just throw everyone away forever. Um
Oh my god, yeah. You stole a sandwich? That'll be 20 years, sir.
right. So yeah, so Joke is getting out of prison with a lot of new tattoos.
Uh-huh.
And since I complained about um firsts in the Heart Killers, I have to complain about Jokes. Some of them look really good, I will say. But he has
Yeah.
one on his chest that you can see the shine of it from like where it's just like a almost like a sticker type of thing is what it looks like on it.
Yeah, most of them are like the hand ones I think look pretty good.
Yeah, even some of the other ones that are like on his chest, like he's got like the Joker symbol like on his shoulder, and
Mm-hmm.
like that one's like a tiny red one, and that one's fine. The ones on his hands and arm are mostly fine. It's the one in the chest that gets me because
Yeah.
it's like you can see like the like a plastic outline around like
Mm-hmm.
whatever the word is. I don't remember what it is. It's like integrity or something like that. Um, so
Yeah. As far as like fake tie or fake tattoos go and like tie shows that I've seen, his is definitely on the better side of things for the
yeah,
most part. But
yeah. Besides the one in the middle of his chest, the rest are honestly fine.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the one that one just gets me where I'm like, okay, it's my one beef.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and then he also like has like this like two X's for eyes, smiley face thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as soon as he gets out of prison, he immediately starts to go look for Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's where we find out Jack has a new nickname. His name is now Jack the Reaper, and he is a debt collector.
I can't
Um,
deal with the nicknames in this show.
no. Um, but yeah, so we find that out actually. I through Jenny's character, so Jenny
Mm,
that we know and love.
yeah.
She plays a character named O in this that owns a like a coffee cart like
Mm-hmm.
under like a bridge or something like that. I don't know exactly where they're at, but it's what it looks like under a bridge or a walkway or something. So she gives a joke the lowdown on what on Jack.
Uh,
And Joke has written a book or a list of 100 ways to make things up to Jack.
aw, he's been riddled with so much guilt the
Yeah.
last 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's Joke has a heart of gold. Like in all of this,
Mm-hmm.
like I know he's a thief, but like he's not a red flag. Sorry.
I fully agree.
He is one of the greenest flags. He just
Mm-hmm.
makes bad decisions in trying to be a green
Yeah.
flag.
Like he tries to do what's right and like sometimes it's just not the way to go about it, but he's never like trying to impose malintent
Mm-mm.
on people, so
No, I mean that's the
well
one time something goes.
on those he deems good people, I guess,
Yeah.
which kind of gets into the light Yagami territory of like, if I kill someone that's evil, am I evil? But not
So
nearly
okay.
to that extent.
Yeah, because Joke doesn't kill anyone. He just steals from
Mm-mm.
them.
No.
Um. So yeah. So Joke like basically stalks Jack for a while and is waiting for him to be alone. And Jack apparently has known this the entire time because Jack finally is alone and he like hides from Joke. So and gets him from behind and has him at like knife point and is like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Joke's like, "It's me."
Uh-oh.
And
I'm like,
which
he's like, you probably don't want to see me, but
yeah, like not that going, "Hey, it's me," Joke is any better than being like anybody else at that point.
uh-huh.
Because Jack is pissed. And
Oh,
he's like, I
Jack
don't.
hates Joke with a
Yeah.
passion, fiery passion.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy how much hate he has built up, which I mean, I don't blame him
Mm-mm.
because
Not at all.
everything with the money going is why Jack is like in so much debt now and has to like pay like work for boss.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, Jack does not accept the apology that Joke tries to give him and with like the book, like he spits on the book. And he just straight up says, "Don't come back. I don't want to see you ever again. I will kill you next time."
yeah. Very clear message.
Yeah. And Joke is just like, that's not good.
Yeah, Jack's
So,
not the quite the bright-eyed little kid that he met previously. He's a hardened criminal now.
yeah, and Joke's not going to stand for that. To be perfectly honest, Joke is like, I have
Mm-hmm.
to fix things.
Yeah.
So, in his stalking of the day, Joke watched like Jack go into like these two guys like apartment or whatever. And like or one guy's apartment. It was and like question him and whatever and do bully him into paying his debt basically. And the apartment
Mm-hmm.
next to it was empty because he had to hide in it at one point. And so he just moves into that apartment. Um,
I love
uh,
that. I love that
right?
he's just like, yeah, it's open. It's free real
Yep.
estate.
Mm-hmm. And so because he now knows that the guys next door, know. Jack that he's like, I'm gonna go get some information from them. So he like shows up all bright eyed and he's like, hey, I'm your new neighbor, here's a fruit basket. And this is like very, very obviously like the lowest income like apartment complex, right? Like it's like a high
Mhm.
rise of like studios basically, right? Like there's or like a one bedroom apartment and everything's like very like grungy and very clearly not a lot of money here. So Joke coming in bright eyed and like with a giant ass fruit basket is
Hey,
so
neighbor.
like crazy. And like the guy that answers the door, his name is Tattoo. We'll learn that later. Um Tattoo opens the door and is like, the fuck are you doing? And Joke's like, yeah, so I saw earlier today you had that one like handsome guy, whatever. And he's like, I want to hit on him, so I want to know where I can find him. And Joke looks like he has money at this point, right? Like which
Mhm.
his family has money. Joke has no money because he's been in jail and now he's disowned, right? So he has
Yeah.
whatever money I guess he earned in prison and that's it. Um,
Mhm.
and I guess whatever he's probably been stealing, to be honest. Um,
Yeah, that as well.
and so Tattoo gives him the information because he's like plotting immediately on where Jack works. Um, and he is like he meets up with like his other friend whose name is Hoy, and he's like, we're gonna rob that guy. So
I love they are Dumb and Dumber. I love them so much.
they are, and it's Tattoo has potential,
Yeah.
and it just nothing ever goes right.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, he has a lot of good ideas, but makes bad decisions as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, so Tattoo and Hoy like follow Joke to where Boss is to go get the loan or whatever. Um, and a Joke is like dressed up to the nines in like fake, like expensive stuff, like a fake watch and like fake, like expensive designer shoes and all like a fake tailored suit, whatever, like all this stuff. Who knows where he got it from? Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
and he's like going in and he meets up with Boss, who Boss has a real name, but they never use it the entire show. I don't remember what it is.
Mhm.
It's just Boss.
It's just
And
boss.
it's Boss is like the main like guy in charge of all the loans for like that area. Like he's
Mhm.
the like loan shark. And that's Jack works for him as the one who actually goes out and does all the dirty work.
Mhm.
So Joke meets up with Boss and is like, I want a loan, whatever, and gives some crypto story. Um And Jack walks right in. His Joke is like about to sign under like a fake name, and Jack stops it, and he's like, "That guy's a scammer." And Boss is like, "How do you know?" And Jack's like, "Well, his watch is fake. You know, it doesn't give away." He's like, "I know him. His name's Joke." Um,
Uh-huh.
and like from that, Boss is like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And Jack's like, "I'll handle it." So Jack like drags him off into this room to like go beat him up basically, and has like two minions with them, and they're arguing. And when I say arguing, it's Jack's annoyed and Joke is flirting. Um, Joke, and it's not even like flirting to hit on. It's flirting just to flirt.
Mhm.
Like there's no like actual like kind of romantic or sexual interest at all. It's just flirting because that's just who Joke is.
It's
Um,
flirting for the love of the game, and I can
yeah.
respect that.
It's kind of my favorite type because there's no
Yeah.
strings to it. There's no like end result. It's just you're flirting because you can.
Yeah.
Um, I do that with my friends a lot. I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
too.
And honestly, the flirting just annoys Jack more, but it's whatever. It's fine. It's just
Mhm.
makes Joke happier the more annoyed, or makes Joke happier the more annoyed Jack gets. So,
Mhm.
and because Jack's still going easy on him anyway. Like if it was anyone else, Jack would have just beat the shit out of him already.
Yeah.
Um, but then Jack gets a call to go handle something else. And leaves Joke with like the two minions that are there, but Joke gets away from them so easily. Like he gives one of them a massage while the other one is like on a bathroom break and like knocks him out and then just leaves.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in this show where it's just like, I just go with it.
Yeah. I mean, it sort of like makes sense. It's because there's a lot of dumb people, right? When you're just
Uh-huh.
like the minion for like a crime boss, like they're not always gonna have the most education. So one goes to the bathroom and the other. I don't know how Joke convinced the guy to like let him give him a massage. You know,
Yeah,
that's a
I
little
will
like
say, if someone offered me a massage, I would not turn them down. So I guess I got it.
I hate massages.
Okay, I've never had one because I'm afraid I don't really know if I want like people I don't know touching me,
Hmm.
but my back is so bad.
Yeah.
I It would feel so good.
My problem is I am insanely ticklish.
Oh. See, yeah, I'm not ticklish at all.
Yeah. So last summer I had to go to was it orthopedic doctor for my knee,
Mhm.
and it was like the worst day of my life. Because the PA was super attractive. And I'm
Uh-huh.
in there in like my medical shorts laying on the bed, and he's like trying to feel up like my knee and my leg to figure out what's wrong with me. Um, and I am so ticklish that this man looks at me and goes, I'm scared to touch you because I think you're gonna jump off the table.
Oh no.
Because I am barely holding it together because it is
Hmm.
so ticklish to have him touching my knee.
That's crazy. I cannot relate at all.
Yeah, my mom has like this look where I know she's gonna tickle me, and I already freak out just from the look. Where I'm like, she doesn't
Uh-huh.
have to tickle me. Like I can feel it with her eyes.
Mhm.
I'm over here. You can't see me. I'm over here like squirming now because I'm thinking about. So yeah, no,
Oh
massage
no.
not the way to go for me.
Okay.
Um,
So you're in the bathroom and I'm on the massage table.
yeah,
Yeah, I see.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Mhm.
So yeah, so Joke then goes to look for Jack, who is like chasing after somebody who's trying to go on the run from the debt he owes. Um, which he has like $2 to his name, this guy does. So like Jack is like ready to kill him, basically, like for trying to run. Like he's trying to give him a break, and
Mhm.
it doesn't go well. And that guy also then tries to attack Jack and ends up stabbing Joke in like the shoulder with a knife. Um, and so Joke lets that guy get away though. And then Joke and Jack fight again, and Jack's like ready to kill Joke like he said he would. Um,
Mhm.
and Joke's like, I'm gonna bring the gentle version of you back from 5 years ago. And then Jack punches him pretty hard and tells him to get out of his life, and then walks away.
I call that mercy.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's Jack's Jack. He might be a debt collector, but he's still a good guy. He's being
Yeah.
forced into this. This is not by choice.
Yeah,
Um,
we don't know this now, but he wouldn't have killed him anyway, but
no, no.
yeah.
Um, I'm curious. I wonder if Jack ever actually had to kill anyone, because he does pretty minimal harm to everybody.
Um yeah, I
So
doubt it,
yeah,
honestly.
I feel like Boss leaves that up to other people.
Yeah.
Um, so
Or he just
speaking
like
of,
lies and sends to another country.
yeah. So, but speaking of Boss,
Uh-huh.
our next scene is Boss and Jack in Boss's office again, and Boss is there and he's like, "You're my favorite," right, to Jack, and Jack's just kind of like, "Okay," and then Boss calls Jack out because he's been paying off everybody else's debt. So instead of paying off his
Mm.
own debt, like I guess he's paying the bare minimum or doing whatever, I don't know. He's been paying for the people who don't have the money to pay their own debt. And he's been doing that quite a bit. And boss is like, we can't have that because it messes with the hierarchy and my business will fall apart. Um,
Mhm.
and Jack is like, or excuse me, boss is like, if you don't stop, I'm going to kill all the debtors that you've helped one at a
Mm.
time. So, yeah, Jack can't do that anymore because he's also
Yeah,
now got a tail on him, basically.
mm, they're two halves of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Joke steals from the rich and Jack gives to the poor. But unfortunately, it's not the same money, so neither of them are really getting anywhere with this.
Yeah. And right now, like, Joke isn't even really doing much to help other people. He's just
Mhm.
there focused on Jack.
Yeah.
He needs the forgiveness from Jack. More than anything else in this
Uh-huh.
world, that's what he needs right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, he has nothing else. It's not like he can go back to his family, really.
Yeah, but he's not even trying to get
So,
their forgiveness. Like he just
no.
wrote that off. And it's
Yeah.
but this is goes back to like the connection they like honestly had because like they hung out for a day. Like one
Mhm.
evening they hung out while Jack was technically on the clock.
Yeah.
And then ran into each other like a couple days later at the bank and then nothing ever again after that. And Joke is so down bad already.
Yeah. Well, he also feels like just extreme guilt because he's like,
Yeah.
look what I've done. Like, because of what like my actions.
Yeah, the
This poor
spiraled.
guy has, yeah, this is like what he has to do with his life now when he had such big dreams before.
Mhm. So, with that, Joke comes home and he's like mentally exhausted. You can see it. Like he's physically also. I mean, Jack punched him and he got stabbed, so he's not doing great. But he comes home and Tattoo and Hoy are there waiting to try and rob him. And it's so funny because they like come behind him. They're harmless. Honestly, they're harmless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're in like these stupid clown masks or whatever, and Joke is like, I don't feel like doing this tonight, guys.
Rob me
and
some other time, please.
and he somehow like ducks out of the way and like turns the light off and like hides, and they're both standing there in the dark going, now what? And they like take their masks off because they're just kind of like, where'd he go? Because he's like gone. Like that's one of the things about Joke is he's like super fast. Like his reflexes are solid. Um, and also he learned how to fight in prison. So he like couldn't fight at all right beforehand, but he actually can hold his own decently well. He's still not as good as Jack, but he's better.
Mm-hmm.
So, after he's been in the shadow for a little bit, he manages to grab Hoy and drag him into the room and like tie him up. And and then Tattoo finally goes to look for him and like in the bedroom. And Jack is just standing there like staring at the window. Like it's such a wild moment. Um and so Joke, honestly, he just lets him go. He's just like whatever, just leave.
Mm-hmm.
But on the way out, Tattoo recognizes Joker's tattoo on Joke, and he goes, "Wait a second, you're the legendary Joker like thief," and immediately Tattoo's like, "You're my hero." It's like, "Oh, okay, Tattoo, if you
Yeah,
say
the
so."
switch up.
And Tattoo's like, "Hey, if you help me rob Boss, I'll give you any information on Jack you want, or like I'll give you like the background on like Jack." And Joke's like, "Sure." Yeah, whatever. Give me information. And then it's Tattoo's like, yeah, he's actually a good guy. He does what he can to like not like hurt people, and like help them instead. So like there's a flashback to the scene where Jack was there to like go bother Tattoo about the money he owed that Joke was watching. But Joke didn't see what was actually happening because he was outside the room, right? And in it Jack was telling Tattoo to like make it look real for him so that he doesn't have to like hurt him. So he like when he punches him, whatever, like over exaggerate type of a thing. It's we're on soccer rules, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
and so they do that, and then it's Jack owes Boss like a ton of money and a life debt, and Boss has Jack's like parents' wedding ring, and that's why like Jack is still working for them. And so Tattoo's like, if we steal that wedding ring back, we can free Jack. Um, and it's one of those like it's if we get all of the stuff like all the collateral from the debtors, then you know they're all free, I guess.
Yeah,
And so
I've kind of like questions with that plot point, but it's fine. Like
yeah,
it does not make sense. Like I don't think the ring is the only thing keeping him tied to the boss, you know? Like if he wanted to just like run away and be free, he doesn't
yeah,
need the ring.
no. So it's sentimental value, right?
I know, but like if you're
No, I mean yeah, if
in
you're in
this
that much debt,
situation, I can't imagine sentimental value is going to override your physical safety and well-being and stuff.
yeah.
Like your
I
fam,
think
but
the other thing is because it comes up at some point later, but like Jack's like, where would I go? What would I do? Like if his family, his friends are here, because that's like
mhm.
Boss knows who Jack cares about in like
Mhm.
that apartment complex area because like
Mhm.
honestly that whole apartment complex area is a big family.
Mhm.
Everybody knows everyone. Everyone looks out for each other as best they can, but nobody has any money. Like everybody is as poor as possible. They all owe money to boss. And it's like if Jack leaves, then he's got to, make sure his grandmother can go with him. But then there's also like Toy Ting and like
Mhm.
Jenny's character. Oh, like there's all these people, and it's like if Jack leaves, boss is gonna take it out on whoever's left.
Yeah, so it's like then what's even the point of stealing the ring, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's not like he's going to take it and leave. So
So I
he could take it and like pawn it maybe and get a little bit of money, but like, if the whole point is sentimental value, he's probably not going to do that then.
yeah, I think I don't know. It's because it's like the binding contract is I have your one like most valuable object, which we see some of the other stuff, but like nothing's ever explained about like literally anybody else's debt. Just
Yeah.
everyone's got a lot of debt.
Yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, so the plan is they can't like outright rob Boss, but they can through Boss's son, whose name is Aran. Um, and so then we have one of Joke's best costumes,
Oh,
where
it's my favorite.
uh my favorite is a couple later from here. But Joke dresses up as like this female makeup artist and is like the most attractive woman. Um
It's so convincing. I did not realize it was joke until maybe like 3 minutes into that scene.
yeah, I didn't either. I was like, who is this lady all of a sudden?
Literally, I did not recognize him. He is full fish, okay? Like I was like he looks gorgeous. I was like I just thought it was a different character and then I was like, "Oh my god, that's just joke and like the
A
best
wig.
and the most convincing drag I've like ever seen."
Yeah. Because it really like the scene just felt like we were just being introduced to Aran because it's just him
Mhm.
like with Aran,
Yeah.
um which I love Aran. Um
I do too. I do love him dearly.
he's absolutely useless, but I love him.
Yeah. Agreed.
He is he is the epitome of kept child.
Mhm.
So, that takes us to episode 3.
Yeah.
And episode 3 starts with like Aran's doing like a live stream but for his clothing brand that he started, but like it's not getting a whole lot of good reviews and he's got a new launch like coming up in a day or two that needs to have like a good like success or his dad's gonna be mad because he's wasting money and he's like I don't have enough jewelry for everybody. And Joke, who is still dressed up in this female character, is like why don't you use like some of your jewelry from home whatever, and like somehow talks him into like using his dad's jewelry, like the stuff he's taking from all these debtors.
As if that's the best jewelry they own, you know.
Right, I think it was not that it was the best, it was the like mismatched kind of fit the concept, something
Mhm.
like that. It was kind of like the thing behind it. I don't know. Joke like again, Aran is not the brightest crayon in the box. Um,
Yeah.
and Joke is a very smooth talker because it was one of those like even watching, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Like I
Uh-huh.
know what he's doing, but I'm still like, yeah, sure, it's fine. What did throw me off is so they all go into like the treasure room as they call it, which is the room with all of like the jewelry that like Boss has collected from his debtors. And it's
Mhm.
it's like Aran and like his like two like assistants and like one other person like his other stylist, and then it's like Joke, and I'm like, why is Joke here? But I guess at this point Aran is like, yeah, that was your idea, you can help me pick out this jewelry.
Mhm.
So yeah, they're just going through all of like his debtor jewelry, picking stuff out. And of course they make sure to get, Jack's ring um for that.
Mhm.
And then we see Joke dressed up as closer to himself. It's still kind of a costume, I would say, but not as much. Like he's just kind of dressed up with a certain vibe more than anything. And
Mhm.
he like meets up with like the stylist that's been working with Aran, and he gets the stylist super drunk and like flirting with him the entire time. And so he does that, and he does that to get into like the guy's phone to like find out about the runway and the pieces um that they need and whatever and what's going on and like the whole plan. and then steals like one of the bags that they're gonna use for the runway the next day, and then brings it to
Mm.
Tattoo. And this is where we learn what Tattoo's skill is, in that he is an inventor. He's just maybe not the greatest.
Yeah, he's definitely some like a self-taught engineer.
Yeah, for sure. But he manages to wire this like metal bag to be able to like remote shock somebody with it, like a strong like electrocution type of a shock. Um and Hoy accidentally sets it off while he's holding it and like electrocutes himself a little bit.
They got to test it
They're
out.
Yeah, I don't think they meant to do it that way though. Um so now they have that. And then we have the next disguise. I think this is my favorite one with the
Mm,
blonde hair.
it's a good one.
It's because Joke disguises himself again, and swaps places with one of the models. And Iran like the entire time, like he's looking at him, he's like, I don't remember picking you. And the like assistant is like, he's here. It's the one he picked. Like
Hmm.
we don't know what to tell you. He's here.
Yeah.
And Tattoo and Hoy are there as staff. And Joke is like, we only take things that belong to the debtors. Do not take anything else, right?
Hmm.
Because again, that is Joke's thing. He's like, I'm not here to rob this kid. Um, like, I
Hmm.
just want to help the poor people. Um, so, and then that poor stylist, they left them out in the middle of nowhere. And
Oh my
Iran is like
god.
flipping
Yeah.
out because he can't find the bag he needs because it's like the critical bag to all of this, and that's where Tattoo shows up. He's like, "Yeah, the assistant sent me here. I'm here to or the stylist sent me here. I'm here in their place. Here's the bag you want." Um, and Iran's like, "Sure,
Just as you left it.
yep, everything's fine." And Iran, who's like frazzled at this point, is like, "Sure, whatever." Um, and War looks so good in this disguise to me. He's got like this
Uh,
blonde wig on and he's got like incredible like glitter in the hair, like the makeup they did and
mm.
everything is just it's great.
Yeah,
He
he
looks
again
so
looks like
good.
completely different person.
Yeah. Um and like Iran is still like sus of him of like whatever. Um and then the next worst thing that or the worst thing that could happen is Jack shows up as part of the guards for like the show because it's um I guess uh boss knows that Iran is using all these pieces because it's
Hmm.
one piece per model, and each model
Hmm.
has their own bodyguard that's literally walking out with them onto the thing and like taking the piece back as soon as they get off stage. So the problem now we
Yeah.
have is Jack is here. And Tattoo sees it and he's like, "Oh wait, before I'm done," because like all the other like parts of the outfit are done, and Tattoo just grabs these sunglasses. He's like, "I have sunglasses for everyone," and like Joke like shoves his on his face and is like, "Yep, done," because of course Jack gets assigned to him,
Uh-huh.
right? Like this could not be going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
But somehow because of the glasses and the hair and everything, Joke gets away with his disguise. Um, like I think Jack was like a little sus, but wasn't sure about anything and like wasn't
Yeah.
expecting Joke to be there, you know?
No,
Um,
and Joke looks quite different than he does
yeah,
now and stuff. So
yeah,
it
and
was probably
so,
more of like it'd be weirder if he recognized like Tattoo or something or somebody
mhm,
because yeah.
yeah, so that's Tattoo. I think is like staying out of the way, and Hoy with some more. So I think Hoy delivered like food at one point to everybody, and so that's why when um everybody's getting their like one piece of jewelry, like almost everybody gets sick with food poisoning like at the same time. So
Uh-huh.
there's like a whole big distraction going on from that, and so they're having to like swap out like who's guarding who for a minute. Um, and so Jack of course gets assigned to be Joke's bodyguard, and of course Jack also that means Jack has to like guard his own ring basically
Mhm.
because Joke gets the ring.
Man.
Um,
Yeah, if I
yeah.
was Jack, I would just I guess just take that thing.
So
You could just
that's a
cut out all of this, just let him have it.
there's another debt collector that comes in a lot. His name is Hope. He's standing next to Jack and he's like, "Oh, lucky you that you get to like watch your own piece." He was like, and he says the exact same thing. He's like, "If I were you, I'd just run now."
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
okay. And Joke is just trying to stay like calm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so Joke goes on the runway, and on his way back, he actually shoves his hand in his pocket and swaps out rings real quick with a different one.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm like, where did he get this replica?
I mean, I guess he had it made. It's just
Yeah.
like a fake gold band with Joker written on it,
Mm-hmm.
instead of Jack. And
That's so
so with
dramatic.
yeah, and so um, all the models are now standing back. The runway part is done except for Aran going on stage, and so they're going to take the pieces back from the models, and like it's right to the point where like Joke has to like step in for Tattoo to like finish taking it, and or excuse me, Jack has stepped in, and Joke's like sweating bullets at this point because he's just like yeah, and he like hands him the ring and like dips immediately. He's like, I'm gonna go change now, bye, and like walks off.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack is like, this feels weird, and he immediately like looks at the ring and sees it's a fake. Like, and at the same time that he sees that, like Tattoo sets the bag off that he had given Aran earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
the bodyguard gets electrocuted. So now there's this big fuss from all of that, and it's like, well, how did that happen? And they think it's just like miswired bag because I think it was supposed to be electrical something.
It's supposed to like
Um,
light up or something,
yeah. Yeah, I
maybe.
think it was just supposed to
Yeah.
light up. And so now there's like, oh, it's faulty like bag thing, so there's a whole issue with that. Um and a lot of chaos all at once, and Joke's just trying to like get out of there as fast as possible, but of course Jack goes straight to him and is like, I
Mm-hmm.
need you to turn around now, because of course he knows back's to him. And Joke
Uh,
goes on the run. Um
yeah. I love this. He's just like, I was like, is he gonna turn around? And he goes and just like
yeah.
skedaddles off.
Yeah, he like starts to turn and then just like zips gone, right? So of
Mm-hmm.
course Jack starts to chase him, and we have a chase scene. Um, and that's where it also comes out that Iran realizes his mom's necklace is missing, because that was one of the pieces as well.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so
That's
the
one that was
problem,
not supposed to be missing, but
yes, but Tattoo
it
has
is.
some slick hands.
Yeah.
Because when Tattoo was originally taking the pieces from the people, from the models, he pocketed and swapped a lot of the them with dupes, and yeah, and so at that point, everyone starts looking for Joke, Tattoo, and Hoy, because they've all realized they're tied to all of this together. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Tattoo and Hoy actually get out pretty quick, uh, and Tattoo leaves the Joker frowny face on the wall before he leaves. Like, cool, I guess.
They're all the Joker now. They're all
Yeah,
going Joker mode.
apparently. And Joke does get end up being found by Jack. That's the first scene from the first episode, is like the chase over to Jack and Joke ending up in that room together. And they fight. And this is such a good choreographed fight to me. Like honestly, the
Mm-hmm.
fight scenes in this are so good.
They are.
Um
They're all choreographed really well.
yeah, because this one's really fun too, because like Joke is like trying to give the ring to Jack. But it's
Uh.
like no, this one is when he's trying to keep it, right? Because he's trying to like explain himself. He's like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking it for you, and Jack's like, you're trying to pawn it and whatever. And Joke's like, no, dude, I'm here to help you. I don't want money. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're arguing and they're fighting, and the way they're like hitting each other to pop the ring into the air and like snatch it that way, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, before all this, because Jack is Taekwondo like trained. Joke, not Joke. Yin, I think, studied Taekwondo for a little bit, like because he's not
Mm-hmm.
a black belt or anything like that. So to learn technique, I think he went through a lot of like fight training for that, and just I think normal fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he has the most fight scenes out of everybody.
Yeah.
He's always fighting.
Yes. It's his thing.
Um, But yeah, so Jack thinks that the end goal was really the like Aran's necklace, like his mom's necklace, because that's where the money value is.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack at this point, or Joke doesn't know at this point that Tattoo has stolen that necklace. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I'm literally just here for like the debtor stuff, so I can give it back
Mm-hmm.
to them. And Jack isn't buying it. But eventually Jack does let Joke go with the ring. Um,
Mhm.
because Hope is starting to show up, and so, instead of turning him in, he's freed him. So clearly Jack has a soft spot for Joke still. Um,
Mhm.
and Jack walks out and he's like, "Yeah, that room's clear. I just checked it." And Hope's like, "No, I think you're in on the scheme." And Jack's like,
Oops.
"No." So Hope has like the bodyguards like pat like Jack down, but of course he's cleared of anything. Um, and so there's a lot of tension between Hope and Jack. Um,
Mhm.
at this point, Hope feels like such an asshole because he's like
Yeah.
super cocky. He doesn't mind hurting people, type of a thing, whatever. He's just
Uh-huh.
living life.
He's doing his job the best he can, you know.
Yeah,
Pistol's like I can't really blame him because I know he's like in debt and stuff. So
yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to be as giddy about it as he seems a lot of the time,
that's
but
true.
like, but honestly, like his giddiness comes from like harassing Jack more than anything, I think.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and uh, and then so Tetsu and Hoy sell the necklace, to some shady underground like pawn shop thing because like no one else is gonna buy it anyway. Um, and they're like walking home with like their giant bag of money. And Joke finds them, and the way he like, just lays the guilt trip on them.
Uh-huh.
And then he's basically just like, whatever, just give the stuff back to all the debtors and then take the money you got and get out of the city, right? Like, just go.
Mhm.
And they're all like, yeah, they're trying to give him a portion of it. And he's like, I don't want the money. They're like, you should leave with us. And, or Hoy tries to get him to leave. And Tattoo's like, he's not going to leave. He's here for Jack.
Mhm. It's true.
So, yeah, that was a lot for episode 3, too.
Mhm.
So, episode 4, we get to meet Jack's grandma again. Um,
She's the best character.
She's so good. She's so
I love
funny.
her. Oh my god, I adore this woman.
Yeah. So Joke goes to her like food stand because she makes um I forget, some sort of like not biscuit, but some like street food. So she's got
Mhm.
like a street food stall. And Joke's there because he wants to give her the ring back. And he's there and he's trying to figure out how to like talk to her or whatever. And he's like ordered food and like these two people walk up and they're like, "Hey, can you break change for whatever this is?" And he like takes it out of their hand because it's like trying to get grandma to do it. And he's like, "This is like the worst counterfeit I've ever seen. There's not even a seal on it, right?" And grandma's just kind of
Mhm.
standing there like, "What?" And they get
Mhm.
annoyed because they've been outed, and so they just grab like her like thing of money and try to go after it. And like Jack like tries to like help, and honestly, not super useful. Grandma takes her food and just hits them with it, and
Yeah.
then like a metal like pan or whatever, she like frisbees it at them and like gets them. So it was
Queen
such a
shit.
badass scene, yeah.
This is you can see where like Jack gets it from now cuz
Mhm.
yeah, Granny she does not need any security. She's got that covered.
Yeah, it was so funny because it was one of those of like Joke, like he knocks one of them down and the other one's like still slowly getting away, but then she comes out of nowhere with like her frisbee throw like
Mhm.
crazy, and just
Yeah.
even when she was throwing her food, like every shot was like a headshot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's locked in. You
So,
know the meme where it's like I know a retired baddie when I see one.
yeah.
That's like her, but in terms of like beating people up.
Yeah, because if you look at her, you would not expect it at all. Because like she's like this tiny, like super old grandma. Um,
Mhm.
so and then we have Aran and Hope are watching some CCTV footage, seeing who robbed them, and it's pretty obvious that it's Hoy and Tattoo. So they're like,
Uh-huh.
great. So it's them, but neither of them are smart enough to pull this off. So there's definitely a third person.
Mhm.
So don't know who that is, and that's where they assume it's Jack actually. Which
Yeah.
no,
Makes sense, but not right.
yeah. And it's because um Hope really doesn't like Jack. So like any excuse to like blame this on him, like
Mhm.
when Boss was like, you need to stop like paying off other people's debts, like he put Hope in charge of making sure that doesn't happen. Basically, it was like
Mhm.
keeping an eye and taking over like some of his cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so then somewhere on all the fuss with Joke and Grandma, like, um, Grandma realized that Joke knows Jack, and I was like, yeah, we were friends, whatever. We had like a falling out type of a thing. And he's like, I'm just here to like apologize, basically, to him. And so he helps Grandma take the cart home, and like they have like a heart to heart, and she like tells him about like Jack's parents, and they're dead. Um,
Mhm.
and what happened was they had committed suicide because they were hoping the like life insurance from their death would like get Jack out of debt and have a better life for him. But as it continues to happen in these shows and how it happens in real life is if you commit suicide, you don't get your life insurance.
Mhm.
So they died for nothing.
Uh, I hate seeing this in shows. It's like so sad.
Yeah, it's so just you know that you are like at the worst place in life if you think that that's like the only answer to like getting out of your debt.
Mhm.
Um so and then Joke like stays for lunch with grandma and then she goes to like take a nap and so he like cleans the house while he waits for Jack to show up.
uh.
And and then Jack comes home and that's where we meet Toy Ting. I love Toy Ting. She is this little girl.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't know, like 6, 7 years old, somewhere around there. And she is also sassy as hell. Um,
Yes.
and so we meet them, and Joke, of course, is there. And so Joke and Jack are outside talking, and Joke's trying to give Jack the ring. And that's where, as I mentioned earlier, Jack is like, "What's the giving me the ring gonna do? Like, what? I don't have
Mhm.
money to like run away with it, and I can't,
Mhm.
like he's gonna have to bring Toy Ting and her family and Grandma and like whoever else he cares about, Tattoo and Hoy and like everyone. Like it's a you can't just leave. It's not gonna do good.
Yeah, well, and also it's like this is a stolen property. I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like I can't leave, and now I like I don't want to be in possession of like I know it's
Mhm.
mine, but it was
It's
stolen. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's not
from my
mine right now.
boss.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And so they argue quite a bit, and Joke finally just gives them like an ultimatum of like, hold on to it for a day and think about it, and then um, if you after a day you're still dead set on not keeping it, then fine, I'll go give it back to Iran. Or if you don't do this, I'm just gonna go hand it to your grandmother right now.
Mm.
And Jack's just like so frustrated, but he's like, yeah, sure, fine, I'll take it for the day. Um,
Mhm.
but Jack also knows that they're gonna be looking for him because they're also looking for like Hoy and Tattoo. So he's
Mhm.
like, Joke, you can't go home to your room. You're gonna immediately be caught. Like, and so Joke, in his flirty ways, is like, do you know where I could stay anywhere?
Any spare beds?
Yeah. So Joke is now staying the night with Jack. Um, and as far as boss's men, like looking for everyone, Hoy immediately gets caught. Like
Mhm.
zero effort. Um, and Tattoo and his mom go to like the shrine to go stay there. Um, and the shrine is run by a lady named Nang, who will again appear constantly. Um,
Mhm.
and so they have to like give up all of their like worldly possessions, and they're supposed to like clean and help take care of and like whatever at the shrine. So they have to like work for their keep, and like Tattoo is like not feeling it at all. But
Mm.
what choice does he have?
Yeah,
Um,
you gotta get out of town a bit.
yeah, and so I don't know why they don't leave immediately. I don't know
I
if
don't
it's
know
they had to get their
either.
stuff in order or whatever. So, but yeah, so Hoy gets caught. Um, and then the next thing that happens, so the next day, Joke is still hanging out at Jack's house, even though Jack has gone off to work now to go be a debt collector.
Mhm.
Which sometimes that involves him just sitting at his desk, which is crazy
Mm.
to me. It's like he's either like going to harass people or just sitting at a desk staring at a computer.
He's gotta find out who he needs to go harass, I guess.
Yeah, I guess there's computer paperwork with everything.
Yeah.
Just feels really weird to see because it's like
Mm.
I guess it's a really functioning business.
Yeah, debt collector desk job.
Yeah. And so while Joke is at the house, like the whole thing is like no one's supposed to see Joke, right? Because he's trying to lay low still. But Jack's friend Save shows up, and Save sees Joke. And so
Mm.
Grandma and Toy Ting are there, and they're both like, "Yeah, he's the electrician." Sure, that's the story we go with, and so that's what Joke rolls with too. Of like, yeah, I'm just here,
Yeah.
fixing some wires or something, and Save's like, oh, okay. And like Toy Ting like calls like Jack immediately because that was like the thing, and it was like, yeah, so Save saw Jack or Joke, is that a problem? And Jack's like, no, that's my best friend, that's fine. He's not
Mhm.
gonna do anything. And then Tattoo also gets caught by Boss's men, because Hoy I guess they fake a call from Hoy, to be like, hey, I need your help, I'm in some trouble, whatever. And so Tattoo's there to like get him out, and of course he just walks into a trap. But like
Mhm.
there was no other solution to that, to be honest. It's either you let Hoy rot or you just show up.
Yeah.
Um, and Aran is there, so they're like in a hotel room or something, and like Aran is there, and Hope is there, and of course Hoy and Tattoo are there, and some random people, and Aran finally gets them to admit that they like pawned that necklace that they stole. And he's like, I don't care that you did that, but you have to figure out how to get it back yourself. Like, that's
Mhm.
your only option. You're gonna die otherwise, basically. And like they're like harassing them with it. And then we find out Save and Hope are dating.
Oh my god.
Right? That was such a
Tea.
shock to me.
I know, me too.
uh they kind of hint at it like hindsight, because Toy Ting, because at one point, um after Save leaves, Toy Ting and Grandma are like talking with Joke, and they're like, "Yeah, why is everyone looking for you right now?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I stole Hope's girlfriend, or
Uh
partner, I guess, because it's Fane, right? So it's
yeah,
gender
yeah.
neutral." Um, and Toy Ting's like, "No, you didn't. I know who that is." And like,
They don't know you.
yeah, and Joke, because it's literally like Save had just left, right? So like
Mhm.
that's Hope's boyfriend. So
Yeah.
that's where Toy Ting's like hella confused. She's like, but wait. And and instead of being like, oh yeah, who is it? Um Joke bribes her into keeping her mouth shut and pretending like she doesn't know who Hope's boyfriend is.
Mhm.
And she's like, cool, money.
Yeah. Works for me.
Yeah, and so but the problem with Save and Hope dating is Hope has like this photo of Joke, because they know who they're looking for, right? As the third person now. And
Mhm.
Save sees it and goes, "Oh yeah, that's the guy that was at Joke's house today." And so Hope's like, "Oh really?" and just like leaves. Like just puts a
Yeah.
jacket on and walks straight out the door. And
Mhm.
then Toy Ting ends up calling Jack and is like, "Hey, Hope's here to raid your house." Um and Jack gets there in like 0 minutes, and um like talks Hope out of the raid, is like, this is my place, like, I'm not involved in anything, whatever. Joke has like dipped out anyway. Like he snuck
Mhm.
out as soon as things went south, because it's not going to do any good for anybody if he's there. Um and he also somewhere in all of that, Jack had given him the ring back. Um while he was asleep, he's stuck in his pocket. So like the deal was he's got to go give it back to Rand now, right? So he shows up to like the hotel or whatever where Rand is like waiting for him. Um, and he calls and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to give you your ring back." So yeah, that was how that ends. That phone call, and I was like, "Oh, had me so stressed."
I know. Well, maybe they should have figured out if people actually wanted their stuff back before they went and tried to steal people's stuff back.
Yeah, I mean they did give all that back though. They did manage to get that done, I think.
Mhm.
Um, so episode 5 starts with Joe getting beat up again. Um,
Of
he walks
course.
in, yeah, he walks up to like the hotel room or whatever, and uh, they just immediately like beat the shit out of him. And I think they're trying to get like information out of him, but Joke's not giving up any information, so they're just beating him pretty rough. And then they finally call Jack, and and Jack immediately like says something that makes it clear he knew about the ring. And so they're like, "Ha." got you. You knew about all this. And so
Mm-hmm.
now Jack also has to help get the stupid necklace back.
I love that Aran, his whole like motivation is just to get the necklace back. Like he doesn't give a shit that they like stole anything else or that they schemed and lied. He's just like, listen, guys, I literally don't care. Just get me this necklace back, and we're all like squared.
Yeah, so the necklace is his dead mother's, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
the one last thing he has from her. And like it's sentimental to him, but also it's worth a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Um, and also his dad is going to literally kill him
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't get it
Yeah.
back. Because like
Mm-hmm.
at one point while they were like trying to figure out who like stole the necklace, like his dad shows up and is like, "Hey, I couldn't find your mother's necklace. You know where that's at?" And he had a lie and be like, "Yeah, my friend has a new jeweler, so I figured I'd let them try and clean it this time to see." And his dad's not buying it, but just kind of
Mm-hmm.
lets it go.
Yeah.
So, his dad would also be the one who would murder him with no question, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Boss is kind
Yeah.
of a
But he's
rough
like the
guy.
rings and like all the other assets. Like I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Iran could care less. Not
Yeah.
his problem.
Mm-mm.
He just wants his mother's necklace.
Yeah.
So now everybody is scheming on how to get this necklace back because somehow Joke has found out that it's at like some super exclusive secret auction, like underground thing. Um, so now they've got to figure out how to get it from that. So, um, and the way to do that is to basically use Iran because he's the only one who knows how to be a rich person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also he's not rich enough to get into this himself. His dad probably could have, but he also can't just go through his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jack and Hope are going with him as like bodyguards, and they're like, everyone else is sitting in a car with like Bluetooth in their ears, like talking through everything, and Joke's like giving names of like, try this name to get in, and try this name to get in, and none of them are working. Um,
Yeah.
but then Rose shows up from the earlier who was almost kidnapped.
Yeah. The girl Jack saved
Yeah, and
5 years ago.
Jack immediately is like, "Oh shit, somebody here knows me, right? Like this isn't gonna go
Mm-hmm.
well." But Rose also knows Iran because rich people run in the same circles. Um, and she helps him get in basically. She's like, "Yeah, he's here with me. It's fine," and just walks him in. Because again, her dad has a shit ton of money.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so Jack has to wear the dumbest disguise I've ever seen so that Rose doesn't recognize him. He's literally wearing like a scarf around his mouth, like a bandana. Uh,
Yeah. It's not
and
suspicious at all.
yeah, and he's just trying to like not make eye contact with her and like make sure she doesn't recognize him. And then the necklace comes out for this auction, and Iran and Rose like go back and forth, and she ends up outbidding him like because she has more money than he does.
Yeah.
So now they have a new problem.
Uh-oh. Girl, just let him have it. It's his mother's, his dead
Right?
mother's.
But she doesn't know that is the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he
She just
should have.
wants to like outbid him because he wants it.
Yeah, and I think she just really wanted it too, but especially because he wants it and because they were bickering earlier of like, oh yeah, like I think he ordered some sort of wine or something for them, and
Ugh.
she's like, "Oh, I don't drink the cheap stuff," even though it was like a $600 bottle of wine or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's definitely like going in on him quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the new plan is to basically rob the truck with the necklace in it that's like gonna deliver it to wherever it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess it has to be Joke because he's like this prolific thief. But the problem is he doesn't know how to drive a truck. He doesn't know how to drive at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Hoy has to teach him how to drive. And it doesn't go very well. Um, but Hoy and Joke are having like this heart to heart, and for whatever reason, Jack's listening in on this conversation from like inside the apartment, and like Hoy was like talking about like what his type is, and he asked Joke what his type is, like in like a relationship, and Joke's like explaining his type as like somebody like super nice, whatever, and and Jack is just sitting there, just grinning ear to ear, like, yeah, that's me.
Hmm.
I love it so much because you can already see, Like neither of
Yeah.
them have realized anything. But they're already done.
Yeah.
So now we have Joke in his next disguise, where he is wearing like this long curly wig with like a mustache, and
Oh
it's
my god, it's so
great.
bad.
It
I
look
love his disguises.
Yeah, it looks like his mustache is about to like fall off at any given moment, but
It does.
and he has to like sweet talk his way onto like this truck again because he's like whoever's like, "Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like whoever, you're not that person." And it's like, "Yeah, I'm his son. It's
Mhm.
fine. I'm here instead. Like don't worry about it." And eventually
Yeah.
that like works. So, cool. And uh Tattoo gives him some sort of like tranquilizer gas spray thing.
Mhm.
So that's when they get some ways down the road. Jack or Joke puts on like a gas mask, and the driver's like, "The fuck are you doing?" And like they're pulled over because I think Joke like lied and said he had to pee. Um,
Mhm.
and Joke like uses the gas, knocks the other guy out, and it takes forever. Like it takes so long. Like they start struggling, and Joke eventually like kicks the guy out and manages to get the car, or the truck down to the bar, the one where Jack and Joke met the first time. That's the bar they're at. Um,
Mhm. The one bar.
yeah,
Yes.
it is literally the one bar. Um, and Joke gets there, and I think he's waiting on everyone else to show up, but then three guys that he knew from prison are there that have beef with him.
Uh-oh.
And they start fighting, and he is not really a match for 3-on-1. Um, and like everyone else shows up, and Jack jumps in and he helps fight. One of the guys like grabs a bottle and smashes it and stabs Jack with the broken bottle. So now you have that to deal with. Um, and Tattoo is like snuck out with the necklace. It seems, and basically he sold them out. He's the one who tipped
Mhm.
off the people who had an issue with Joke, and so that's how all this happened. And he's feeling a little guilty, and he tried to get Hoy to go with him, and Hoy like refused because Hoy has some sort of morals compared to Tattoo. Tattoo's just desperate to like be free.
Yeah.
Um, so but there's some guilt with that, and so Joke and Jack go back to Joke's apartment now, and they like take care of Jack's wound, and then they go wait for Tattoo next door in his, um, or like outside of his. And when Tattoo comes in, he's like struggling. He's got the bag because he's like, um, he was gonna dip out, but now he's like whatever. And so Joke and Jack like will show up at the door, and Tattoo's like, "Oh yeah, I just found the bag with the necklace in it, whatever." And so Joke plays dumb, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad you found it. I was just gonna like see if it was here because we couldn't find it earlier." So they give him that grace to like have that redemption.
Yeah.
And pretend like he did just find the bag and that he wasn't trying to run away with it. Um,
Mhm.
which is very nice of them.
That is.
And so Jack and Joke then take the necklace to Rand, who like literally is just like, "I'm gonna pretend like I don't know anything about the rest of the jewelry. I don't care. I'll play dumb. I'm
Yeah.
gonna it's fine.
I got my necklace. Like that's all I
Yeah.
wanted.
It's we're good." And after Rand leaves, Jack and Joke are talking, and Jack finally forgives Joke and is like, "Let's start fresh." Um
Aw.
so they're happy.
Mhm.
and, and that's all great and all except Rose is big time mad that she's been robbed. Um, and because CCTV is a thing, they know Jack is involved, right?
Mhm.
So now it's she knows Jack, right? And she knows Jack. So it's like
Yes.
great.
Now they're
So
really in a pickle.
yeah. So Rose is we'll see what happens with her. Um,
Mhm.
because episode 6 now. um, Joke is like back at with Grandma and Jack again. They're having like a family dinner, and Grandma and Jack invite him to just stay with them for a while. And Joke is like so emotional at this, and he's just like they barely finish the sentence when he's like, "Yes." And
Aw,
he's getting
yeah.
like choked up because they're like feeding him and like immediate. It's like the family he's always wanted, right? Like
Mhm.
he didn't need a whole lot of anything. He just wanted love,
Yeah.
and it's like no strings attached love from Grandma and Jack at this point. It's really funny though because he has no concept of any of like elderly people's superstitions because everything that was like a superstition with like this meal he did wrong.
Yeah.
And grandma was a little stressed out about it, not gonna lie. So, but yeah, so now we have a nice
Well,
little happy family.
yay. Good for them. They're cute.
Mhm. I just I love Joke so much. So seeing him like get choked up, I was like, "Oh, yeah, me too."
Mhm.
And then we see Rose is over at Boss's office and she is throwing the biggest fit and Nung is with her. Um and Nung again is the one who is like in charge of that shrine. But I also think
Mhm.
she's just like a consultant basically for Rose. She's with her a lot, giving her like advice and stuff. But they're
Yeah, she
not
has a lot of little
related.
job things going on. It's kind of
Yeah.
I got kind of confused with her role.
Yeah. I just how she ended up always with Rose, I have no idea, honestly. It's just a thing
Yeah.
that happened.
I know.
Um
At this point too in the show, I'm like, there are so many characters. There's so much happening. I don't know the connection here. Maybe I missed it, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's the one thing I don't understand because it's like okay, Save and Jack have been like childhood friends, and then Save is dating Hope. Um and Hope works for Boss, and so does Jack. And then Tattoo lives with his mom and owes a lot of money to Boss, and Hoy also owes a lot of money to Boss.
Yeah. I mean, all the other ones
Yeah,
make total sense, but this
yeah,
random lady, I'm like, okay, hi.
yeah. I feel like they didn't explain it very well how she's tied to Rose. So,
Yeah.
like her being like the head of the shrine is sure it's fine,
Mhm.
but yeah. But yeah, Rose is there pitching the biggest fit about this necklace being stolen, and it's like, I know Jack stole it, but he did it for Iran because Iran wanted it. So don't you dare, um, take it out on Jack. It is all on Iran. I want my necklace. And Iran is the only one you are allowed to punish. You are not allowed to like dock Jack's pay, like nothing.
Mhm. She has crazy beef with the Ren.
Yeah, but she also adores Jack. Um,
Mhm.
and and boss is like, okay, but that's my wife's necklace. Can I just give you money? And Rose's like, no, no, I want my necklace. I don't
Oh
care
my
who's.
god,
Yeah,
Rosé, girl.
right.
Give it up. You can't have everything.
So much would have been solved if she just taken the money. Like
Yeah,
not everything, but a lot would have been solved.
I
Um,
agree. Yes.
so then that night, Jack and Joke are fighting over who gets the bed and who's sleeping on the floor. Um, until like Jack's wound gets like agitated by everything, and then Joke immediately like gives up and is like, "Nope, bed's yours."
Mhm.
And the way they're talking, and it's so funny. Grandma is listening in at the door, and it sounds like they're like getting ready to have sex because they're talking about like who's gonna be on top and whatever. She's just like grinning and nodding.
The scene was cracking me up. She listens. She's like, oh, like okay. Oh, we love an ally. Like
Yeah,
it's like not what's happening at all, but she's
yeah.
so cool.
She already ships them because like there's another point at
Mhm.
one point where she's like, "You two just need to hug and make up. Like it's
Yeah.
fine." Like
Yeah. She knows. They
yeah,
might not know yet, but Granny
she
knows.
knows. Yeah, she's been
Yeah.
around long enough. She understands the shit.
Yes.
So, and so the next day we see Boss, yelling at Iran about this necklace and like how much he's fucked up, and like he won't hit Iran. He takes all of his anger out on Hope.
Yeah. It's like a whipping boy situation.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like
Mhm.
he like chokes Hope and he like punches him a few times and whatever, and Iran just has to sit there and like watch. And like Iran's like a big softie, honestly, so Iran doesn't handle it well.
Mhm.
Um, but in the end, Boss disowns Iran basically and is like, "You're cut off, and you are no longer my son." Um, and Iran's like, "I'm
Yeah.
gonna be successful without you. Watch me." Not that Iran knows how to do anything. Um,
No.
so Iran goes to meet up with his like his like team for like his fashion line or whatever. But they all abandoned him too because they're like, you don't have any money. We were only here because we were forced to be because you paid us.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're like, you
bye.
treat us like shit, so now that
Yeah.
you're not paying us, we're not gonna like hang out with you on our free time.
Yep. Bye.
Yep, see ya.
um. So now that Jack and Joker think everything is settled, they're back to their like, hey, maybe we should actually open up a school plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joke is like, let's get your dream done.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jack, Joker, Hoy, and Tattoo are all like sitting around by like Jenny. Her name's O in the show, but it's she's always Jenny to me.
It's Jenny, yeah.
Yeah. Uh Jenny's like coffee thing. They're all hanging out around there, whatever. And like Aran shows up out of nowhere and like sits down with them and just has a full on breakdown. It's
I
so
honestly I love him.
Yeah, I do too. He's so funny, but he gives no context. He just sits down at this table of people that like, yeah, he knows, but like they're not friends. Um,
No.
but he has no one. He has no real friends. Like this entire
Uh.
time, he's never had a single friend out of all of this. It's all people he's just been paid to be around him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is as close to like friends as he's ever had. So he's like, this is where I'm gonna go. And he just falls apart and everybody's just kind of like, what? And he's once he finally like comes up to like talk again from being the most dramatic, he's like, I don't have a place to stay. I've been disowned, whatever. Um, and I think Tattoo's like, yeah, there's probably a spot at like the shrine you can go stay at. But then Hoy's like, actually, your mom's staying at the shrine. You have an extra room available. And Aran's like, oh, you do? So somehow Aran is now staying with Tattoo.
I was shipping this so hard. I so badly wanted Tattoo and Iran together. And they kind of
Me
like
too.
don't really go through with it. So I was really disappointed because I was like, man, these two are like so cute together.
Yeah, they hint at it so much, but nothing ever
Uh-huh.
happens from it.
I
But like
know.
the vibes are all there, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's why I was like shocked it didn't really happen because I was like from the first time they met, I was like picking up on a vibe and I was
Hmm.
like and then this happened and I was like, "Oh damn, they're going through with it." And then they
Yeah.
don't. But
No, nothing happens.
yeah, if
Um,
only.
yeah, so like that night, Hoy is also staying at the shrine. So it's Hoy and Tattoo's mom are both staying there. And Hoy didn't actually get approval to like stay there. And this Dumbo walks into the women's bathroom instead of the men's, so like he gets caught. Um,
Mhm.
and to earn his keep there, like since he knows how to drive, he becomes Nang's like driver. Um
Mhm.
which he's like fine with. I think he likes to drive because he was like super like, yeah, I'll be your driver, I'll be a chauffeur, that's fine, whatever, like let me stay
Yeah.
here.
I mean, he was like the getaway driver before or he was like
Yeah.
helping teach how
Yeah.
to getaway drive.
Yeah, he was the getaway driver from the runway thing, and then after that
The
he
auction.
yeah, he had to teach Joke how to drive.
Mhm.
So I think he's the only one of all of them that actually knows how to. No, Jack also drives. Jack drives a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Um,
Yeah.
so those are the two that know how to drive for sure. But also Jack now starts to teach Joke English, and we have a moment here because Jack pulls out like these secondhand workbooks that he got, and what happens is those are actually Joke's old workbooks that got donated,
Sure.
right? Like
Like
fate. Fate is
yeah.
crazy.
Why not?
Yeah. And so there's a lot of legit flirting happening now. And this is like some real flirting, not just Joke being Joke. Because
Mhm.
it is both of them flirting.
Mhm.
Um and then Jack makes Joke promise that he won't disappear until like Jack's dream of this school comes true. And
Mm.
it's like, oh, my heart. Because
I know.
Joke's like, okay, I won't.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, we learned that Joke does not know how to spell anything in English,
no.
which you would
Yeah.
think is not important, but it kind of will be later. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Joke knows no English. Like even when he's
Hmm.
driving, like I guess like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody has ruined me on this because I call it the Prindle
The
now.
Prindle,
The
yeah.
Prindle, the Prindle, the gear shift from like drive to whatever. He's like, why is it all written in English?
Yeah.
Like he's annoyed there too because he can't read it. Um,
uh,
so yeah, joke really not good at the academics.
mhm.
But yeah, so you really honestly, I would say at this point Jack and Joke are together without being together, right? Like they're
They
just
get
they're
very domestic.
very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Without acknowledging it really, but like
Hmm.
they both know what's happening at this point.
Yeah. So, and then I don't think it's the next day, but sometime later, uh Joke has like a big surprise for Jack and he's got him blindfolded and he takes him to this place and it's his old taekwondo school. And Jack is like, "Why are we here?" And then Jack's coach shows up and I think Joke has like somehow made a deal where like Jack can like buy the school from coach and coach is like, I'm glad like you got it so that something good will happen from it. And he's like, I felt guilty these last 5 years for everything that happened. Carbon got in like an actual fight with somebody and like went to prison for a while for that too.
Mhm.
And Jack just doesn't like Jack's like cool for the school, but as far as like this apology from coach, he's like, no, like I don't forgive you basically. Like your apology is meaningless. And coach is like, yeah, that's fair. Um, or he did forgive him like a long time ago, but like he doesn't really want anything from him, I think is more of what it was. Like it was one of those, it
Yeah.
was still like it was not a great moment. Like they were very like tense.
Mhm.
Um and then uh Jack then has I guess enough money saved up. I don't know where all this money came from. I guess they did split the money. Um
Yeah. I guess also he's not paying everyone's loans, so maybe he's saved some that way, but yeah.
right? Cuz he goes to the bank to pay off loans and then like work out how to get like his school set up and whatever. And Save, his friend, is the banker there. And Save is like, yeah, you shouldn't have to take out any loans for any of this. Like, you should be set up pretty good. Like, everything should be good to go from here. And you'll have some, like, all your extra money. Like, here's how you should invest it.
Sure,
And,
save.
right? And at this point, Save is just the friend. Like, so yeah, it makes
Uh-huh.
sense. Do it this way. Um, and, Boss is, still trying to negotiate keeping the necklace with Nung. Money doesn't work. So instead he offers Jack as a future husband for Rose. And somehow that's
Okay.
acceptable because
Yeah.
she's literally been in love with the guy since she met him. It was love at first sight for her.
Mhm.
Her knight in shining armor who happens to be so incredibly attractive. Um,
What
um,
a crazy deal.
Yeah, so Jack has now paid off his debts and he calls boss and was like, "Hey, I quit basically."
Mhm.
And whatever. And so boss like shows up and I think to like give him his ring back or whatever and be like, "Yeah, it's fine that you quit. You don't owe me anything anymore. We're good." And
Mhm.
but grandma was sick and she'd been getting like her medicine from boss and so he because I guess they run some sort of pharmacy thing too, because like that was a thing that came up briefly earlier. Um, and so, and at one point, like, Jack had told her to stop like buying medicine from him and like whatever. But he came and he gave medicine for free to Grandma. And he leaves, and Jack and Joke and like everything's great. um, and until Grandma collapses, like right after all that, and things are not
Oh,
great. And
no.
yeah, so that's how we leave off on episode 6.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so
I
we're
like I think about that a lot as an American. Just like, oh yeah, I'm always just like one medical accident away from like being bankrupt essentially.
oh, absolutely. Our system's such
Yeah.
a disaster.
I
It's
know.
I definitely play the roulette of if I don't go to the doctor, nothing's wrong.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. I do that all the time.
Yeah, because that was last year when I had to go for my knee that I talked about earlier. That was not a small chunk of money, and all I did was do physical therapy for 6 weeks, and that
Yeah.
was still thousands for me to do that.
I know. That's like when my wrist, I was having like wrist problems from playing too many video games basically. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I could go to the doctor for this, and they're going to tell me it's going to be like hundreds of dollars, and they're just going to tell me to like rest it, or I can just rest it myself and just hope it gets better.
Yeah, that's so I don't have carpal tunnel. I don't know exactly what I have, but it's like in the the pad of like skin like the on your palm right under your thumb. Like I have like really bad
Oh.
pain in both my hands there if I do certain things too much.
Oh
Um
no.
Part of it's texting for sure because I can feel it like it's the muscle you use like in your palm from texting with your thumbs.
Yeah.
Um but it's also just because I do lab work. So like when I pipette,
Mm.
it's doing that same kind of like motion if I have to do a drop at a time. And I
Yes.
did that a lot in undergrad. Um, like 300 milliliters of like liquid, one drop at a
Mhm.
time.
Oh no.
It'd take me literally hours. Um,
Yeah, it's probably similar to like what I had too, just different
yeah.
tendon
So yeah, it's definitely
tendonitis.
rest is what I do. I'm like until it gets so bad that resting doesn't help, I'm not gonna do
Mhm.
anything else about it
Yeah.
because the other option is going to be surgery eventually. Like I already know it's eventually going to be surgery,
Oh.
but that's a lot of money and it's a lot of time out of work.
Yes.
So
Yep.
if I can hold off on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah, and it's one of those. It's like I feel like Thailand's not as bad about like medical bills as we are, but like if you have no money, any bill is a bad bill.
Yeah. I know. I think
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it come up in a couple shows where like, if the character's poor and then like a medical incident happens, like my stand-in too,
Mhm.
like that was a big deal because then they got into like a lot of debt for it.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
yeah.
I was reading somewhere that Thailand is one of the places people go for like medical procedures because it is cheaper than here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
So
Southeast Asia. I think if you're like an American, it's like a good place to go for medical tourism because like the flight
it's
there, getting the procedure done, and then flying back is still cheaper than just like getting it done in the U.S.
it's
But
insane that that's a thing.
I know it really is. It's like it hurts my heart.
Yeah. Maybe one day. One
Yeah,
day we'll have it better here.
yeah.
So so everyone, we're gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger of Grandma collapsing,
No.
and what that means for our now free Jack and Joke, because
Mhm.
we have a happy little family that just had a new crisis happen because
No.
nothing good can happen for more than 30 seconds around Joke.
God, this show was so stressful to watch while it was airing because it was just constant like, oh shit, like something bad
Yeah.
happened again.
Yeah, it was stressful, but it was so
Mhm.
good. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. Um, you'll have to wait till next week to find out what happens unless you've seen the show.
Which I
Uh,
assume you have because we're kind of spoiling it all
I
anyway,
hope
but
so. Yeah, I hope
yeah.
you've seen it. If you haven't, it's a great show. Go watch it.
uh,
Um,
you could probably get it done in the week between this episode and next.
oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, and in the meantime, you can find us as usual on Instagram and TikTok at bl.in.the.air. On Twitter at BL in the air. At Discord in the invite link is in the link tree. And we're streaming audio and video on Spotify and YouTube and audio everywhere else. And we'll see you next week. Bye.